I'm not even going to ask. Samir, just take it away. Go for
All
it.
right. Open mic session.
Open mic.
No, I mean, I think, we were talking about earlier where, the hate's coming from different directions. And this is another example where the hate's coming from the broader South Asian community, whatever that you want to call it. And unfortunately, you have a very, what I would call sophisticated and effective lobby, the Khalistan lobby. And I want to be very clear in distinguishing that when I talk about Khalistanis, I don't mean the ordinary Sikh population. I think Hindus and Sikhs have a long history of collaboration, intermarriage, and common values and beliefs. And this is not in any way talking about Sikhs in general. This is talking about kind of that small percentage, but very loud and influential percentage that are extremists and that are advocating for separate state of Khalistan. Problem is, we're in America. And what they're doing here is that they are hiding behind this issue of transnational oppression. So they're promoting, on the one hand, violently, oftentimes, their idea of creating a separate state carved out of India, and basically using this bogey of transnational oppression that anyone that speaks out against them, particularly Hindus, or criticizes their movement, is automatically engaging in transnational oppression on behalf of the Indian government, is a proxy of the Indian government, et cetera, et cetera. And so, I think it would be laughable, I think, if it didn't have real consequences. And the real consequences is something that we've seen most recently in California, where they tried to pass a bill, SB 509, which would have basically, trained law enforcement to treat Hindu Americans with suspicion, and basically assume that we are, proxies of the Indian government. We are, foreign agents. And we're trying to repress, Sikh activism in America, which couldn't be further from the truth. Um, you know, so that's where the problem lies, right? Otherwise, we would care less, right? Because the movement is dead in India, right? Nobody wants Khalistan in India, right? And this has been
They want it in
supported.
Pakistan, though.
Yeah, I know. They want it in Yuba City. But
Yeah.
anyways, survey over survey, political elections in India have clearly shown that there's no appetite for Khalistan, and show overwhelmingly that Sikhs are proud of their Indian identity, get along well with Hindus, and don't face discrimination and any form of repression. And so this narrative is very much based in the West, and is based in the U.S. and Canada, and the UK to a lesser extent, and Australia, but really here in Canada. And so, this issue is just, it's kind of like, it's unfortunate because it's again been clumped together with this idea of Hindu nationalism and Hindutva, that again, a public expression of, Hindu identity or speaking out on issues either A, makes you Hindu nationalist, B, makes you a proxy of the Indian government, or C, all of the above. In my case, it's all of the above, obviously, and I drive around in a black SUV and transnationally repress people. This is another thing that I think the problem we see now. Fortunately, due to a lot of collaboration with multiple organizations and the community, we were able to defeat bills like SB 509 in California and prevent it from actually harming us on a day-to-day basis. So it's actually been a huge year. I mean, despite all the challenges, it's been a huge year in terms of some of the victories that we've had, defeating negative bills like that, promoting positive bills and getting positive bills like the Diwali bills passed, getting a bill that protects a Hindu's right to have religious door hangings in front of their homes in HOA communities or in landlord-controlled properties, in states like Nevada. So we've done a lot, unfortunately. So I think this noise oftentimes dominates the conversation and the discussion and the narrative, but we are making a lot of progress as a community, and we are moving forward, and we're not going to stop moving forward. So, these guys are clowns, right? I mean, these Khalistanis are clowns. I mean, they have these referendums, and I know I'm going off on on a little rant here, mini rant, but now I'm angry. Now I'm worked up. They have these like referendums to vote on the creation of a state in another country where the people there themselves don't want it or have no say in it. I mean, can you think of a stupider thing than that? Who would go to these stupid referendums and spend like half their day there? I mean, it's like ridiculous. Like, these guys are clowns. These guys are stupid. Unfortunately, in that stupidness, the naive politician, just thinks, oh, it's all like rainbows and like teddy bears. It's such a peaceful movement. No, they're attacking our temples. They're vandalizing our temples. They're harassing people. It's not a peaceful movement. They took down an airplane in Canada, the Air India bombing in 1985. These are violent people, and they have some sophisticated spokespeople, but they are advocating for a violent movement that has a history born in blood and violence. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. And so we're going to continue educating policymakers and others about this issue. And they can continue to try to push these issues against us, but it's not going to deter us. We're still going to continue to speak out, protect our rights, protect our temples, work with law enforcement, collaborate and educate them on these issues. And, that's it. They